You got to touch the music. You got to give us some music. Yeah, we don't know music. Got to have a little music. Where's our music? Okay, we got to get into the mood. See, I got to start this all over again. This whole prep thing now. All right, I'm back in my doom 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 doom. You got to do that, man. When you get back in, let's go back to Restream chat and see if anybody's left. All right, hello. We are back. We are back. We've been talking about watermelon. Do you salt it or do you not salt it with the new? And it's not really new, but kind of hitting the market as a fad in the last year. Tajin or Tajin, whatever you want to call it there. Good morning, Judy from Canada. Yeah, she's tuning in from Canada there. All How pretty cool is that? I think Saskatchewan, I think. We are live now, Fred. We are back. I know, right? It's not Memorex.
Speaking of a glitch in the Matrix.
Yeah, we just glitched. Did you see the black cat walk across? Exactly. I didn't see it. So anyways, chili, lime, salt. Latham and I, we're not. We're straight watermelon guys. Yep. And if you don't have a good watermelon, just use the seeds to play. That's kind of where we're at with that deal. Picking out a good watermelon. I was taught as a kid that you want to thump the watermelon.
Yeah, that's how I always saw people do it.
Okay, and so what are you listening for?
I have no idea.
They never told you that, did
they? Did you see people thump it?
Thump it.
Yeah, they're like, oh yeah, this is good.
Yeah, it's a good one. Why is it a good one?
Yeah, I don't know.
See, I've heard that if it's hollow or more hollow, that it's ripe. If it's too hollow, it's overripe. But if you thud, it's not ripe.
Okay.
So you're looking for kind of a open thud.
Okay. So you really need a good ear.
You do. It's a good science. Eyes stink, ears are good. So I can pick out your watermelon for you.
There you go.
I have a tendency to pick out good watermelons. Go figure that out. All right. And so I think we have solved the watermelon mystery for today, without a shadow of a doubt. You know, I was driving over and I was thinking for next week. And so maybe you and I could wear this out a little bit. What in the world is the difference between Diet Coke and Coke Zero?
Branding.
But I don't understand, though.
No, I don't either.
Like, I'm as confused as a goat on AstroTurf. Okay,
right.
So Coke Zero, no sugar, calorie-free. Diet Coke, same thing, right?
I guess. I don't know. I mean, I really don't get it.
Is his mic on? Let's make sure his mic's on. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I've wondered the same thing. Like, if it's Coke Zero, if it's got no sugar in it, well,
right?
Then what is in Diet Coke that you're having to distinguish between the two?
I mean, they don't put saccharin in Coke Zero? Maybe is there saccharin in Diet Coke? I think there's saccharin in Diet Coke, right?
Yeah, it's probably something like that. Some
Coke Zero is supposed to have the Coca-Cola taste, and the Diet Coke is the one with like
with like no taste.
Like all the diet sodas were like
that diety taste.
Yeah.
But okay, but help me out here then. Why not just get rid of Diet Coke and go with Coke Zero?
Right.
We've done our better. We've revolutionized Diet Coke. Now we call it Coke Zero. I don't get that.
Yeah, that's a mystery to me.
It's a mystery to me. Now Dr. Pepper's jumped in line.
Yeah. And I mean, Dr. Pepper, I mean, come on.
Don't follow the suits.
Know who you are. Man.
Yeah. I mean, you're different. Don't follow the suits. Yeah.
You don't need to go. Like, nobody's drinking Dr. Pepper thinking, I want something slightly less sweet.
Right. Or with no sugar in it. Yeah. Hell, I'm going looking for the bottle that says pure cane, Dublin sugar. Pepper. That's right. That's what I'm looking for.
Right. Yeah. Take a swig and get the shakes.
Exactly. Oh, my goodness. Fred says, just drink the real stuff unless you medically can't. It is a freaking fad. Well, and it's fatting all over the place. That's for darn sure. Pepsi Zero now, I think they have, or something like that. When Dr. Pepper jumped on board, I kind of lost a little respect.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, just know your audience, man. I mean, know who you are.
Yeah.
Just be you.
Do you remember Tab?
I do. Yeah, my grandmother drank that stuff all the time.
My grandmother did too.
Yeah.
Tab was in the garbage can. Let me tell you something. There's cans of it and cans of it.
Yeah, big 2-liter bottles.
Did Sprite do the same thing?
Well, they have a Sprite Zero.
Sprite, of course they do.
Yeah.
Of course they. I think here's the thing where I probably would lose my mind. Has Mountain Dew come up with a Mountain Dew Zero yet?
No, I think Mountain Dew knows who they are.
I think they do too.
I mean, that's.
Yeah. I mean, can you imagine a Mountain Dew Zero?
No.
Or a Jolt Cola Zero?
Yeah, I mean, what's the point?
Yeah, why are you drinking it?
Jolt Cola, man, that got me through undergrad.
No, they don't.
It's the pink one.
Really?
I got to look this up. No, they can't.
That's disappointing.
No, they can't, because then I got to start a fad, and I'm going to have to start finding a local Mountain Dew distributor and go out and carry a sign.
Now, Jolt Cola and an undergrad, I didn't need any sort of.
Oh, they have a Mountain Dew Zero.
That's ridiculous. Come on.
Give me a break.
Jolt Cola got me through undergrad, but you didn't need any sort of illegal substance to stay awake. Like, Jolt Cola, and there was a coffee house like right on the edge of campus that sold chocolate-covered espresso beans.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
You eat a couple of those and chase it with a Jolt Cola, you're up for like a week.
You were, too. Yeah, that was good
we
stuff.
didn't need any illegal drugs. We had coffee beans and Jolt Cola.
Do you know that they brought Jolt Cola back in 2017? And now they're doing energy drinks.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jolt Cola, chocolate covered espresso beans, and then you know a little shot of NyQuil to come down. You know.
Well,
what else do you need?
That's how you didn't put on the freshman 20.
Yeah, you know.
You didn't have a chance.
Nah. Get through finals week, take a little shot of NyQuil, wake up in about 3 days. You know, a half beard grown. Like, what week is it?
What week is it? Did the grades come out yet? Did I miss the semester? Yeah, those are always the big questions to ask. I mean, come on now, right? So, big headlines. We can't let this go without talking about it. There will not be any spectators at the Tokyo Olympics.
Yeah.
Feedback, thoughts? What do you mean?
I'm not surprised that they did it. But at this point, I'm kind of like, we're going on close to 2 years. I mean, you got a lot of people vaccinated. Everybody knows the risks. You've already postponed this thing. It's already a year late. Like, I mean, why not just let people, assume the risk? Everybody understands there's risk involved, right?
Right.
The people that want to show up will show up, and people that are afraid to go out will stay home.
Won't go home. That's right. Or don't go out.
Yeah. One of the reasons these countries spend so much money putting together, presentations and making their pitch to get the Olympics is, the economic impact of hosting it. Well, you just cut into that pretty drastically if you're not going to let anybody show up. If it's just going to be the athletes in the stadium, you can't sell tickets,
right.
Hotel rooms, restaurants, all the economic development that comes along with that sort of thing. I mean, you just gutted it.
Oh, and they did gut it out, no doubt about it. Chambriel, what's our phone number here at the studio? It's in there somewhere. It's a 214 number.
Pop quiz.
Andrew, we're going to look for it. We haven't used it in so long, because I think it comes to my phone anyways, which is kind of interesting. So, but yeah, if we can find it, man, call in. I'll put it out there. You guys can call in. Andrew White says, I have to admit, I do like Dr. Pepper 10. Yeah, that's because you left, you've retired as a major out of the Army.
Pepper 10. I mean, Dr. Pepper is 10, 2, and 4.
That's exactly right.
I mean,
that's why.
That's the only 10 that ought to be involved in Dr. Pepper.
Andrew, 10, you're fired as a man, dude. You lose your man card.
Yeah, and or your Southerner card if you are.
right, your Southerner card for sure. Yeah. Dude, moon pie and a Dr. Pepper. What are you doing?
Absolutely.
Yeah, what are you doing? You're killing me.
I don't know. Like where I grew up, it was moon pie and an RC.
Oh, absolutely. RC Cola, that was the bomb. Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
So. Back to the Olympics. I mean, here we go. They had 3.5 million tickets sold. They said, all right, no foreigners back in March. Yeah. We're not letting anybody come into Tokyo. We're not letting anybody do any of this. But we'll sell tickets to the locals. Right. And now they're afraid of a super spread going on. They only sold 3.5 million tickets. I say they sold that, but only sold that many because they wanted to still socially distance and only fill the stadium half full. And I mean, at that point, I mean, you're going to the bathroom, close quarters. Right. You're going to stand in line, close quarters, to get food or what have you. I mean, are you really doing anything when you do that inside the stadium?
Yeah, I don't see how it's that big a deal. But I mean, they don't want to be a super spreader. Well, I mean, isn't the cat sort of out of the bag on super spread? I mean, the whole world has this virus already. I mean, at some point, we just got to get on with living life.
So Andrew's calling my phone. Let's see if we can get him on the microphone. Right. Hold on. Let's see if we can do this. Andrew, are you there?
I am here. JP, great topic on today's show, by the way.
Which one? The Dr. Pepper topic or the melon topic?
The Olympics, the whole thing. This is awesome.
Man, we're all over the board. I tell you this much. We're not talking Vicksburg and Gettysburg. That's what you guys are going to talk about on Saturday.
Yep.
So we got Andrew White with us from Kilroy's Conversation. So, Andrew, what do you got for us, man?
Well, first of all, I can't turn in my Southern card because I'm originally from the Northeast.
Oh, that's right. You eat beans with your chili. My bad.
Exactly. So, I gotta, you gotta give me a little bit on that. Dr. Pepper 10 is not too bad,
When you have to say not too bad with something, don't eat it. The calories aren't worth it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you that one. But it's better than pure diet.
Well, I mean, at least with diet, we knew what we had, right? Now you got all these
Sure.
different names. You got Dr. Pepper Zero. You got the 10 Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
So now you don't know what you're picking up. You're thinking, oh, hey, 10 Dr. Pepper. They had 10 more, ounces of sugar. I'm going to have some of this. And then it's not. What's with that?
Exactly.
What's with that?
It's confusing. It's all marketing,
Yeah.
Right. And so
Better than diet's like being the healthiest guy in the leper colony.
right. So
Great analogy.
So what about the Olympics? I mean, should we put butts in the seats or no?
Well, me personally, I think we should have, and I agree with what you guys are saying. We should have folks there. Now, I'm going to have to put an asterisk on here. I understand kind of, sort of, maybe their logic. I don't agree with it. I just kind of, sort of see it because they're kind of paranoid over there. I don't agree. If that makes any kind of sense over there. I think we should be there. I think we should have fans there. This is the freaking Olympics, all right? This is big. Nationalism. This is all about, your country, your opportunity to shine, showcase who you are as a nation and the best that we have to offer. That's what the Olympics is all about.
Amen.
And I'm not just speaking about America. I'm talking about every country attending the Olympics.
Right, exactly.
It is
That's why you
all
host
about
it.
representation. And, there's something about and I love watching it when you see some of these smaller, lesser known countries when they have that athlete win whatever event it may be. And on the medal stand, you see that national pride, the crowd just really giving them that level. That's what the Olympics are about. That is really the whole essence of the Olympics. And by not having that, I think you're robbing the athlete, the fans, and the nation of that opportunity.
Agreed. Well,
Just my opinion.
you got a couple fans here. Fred says, hey, my fellow damn Yankee. And Ann Guzman says, yeah, Yankee logic. So there you go. Andrew, thanks for your call in, brother. Oh, wait a minute.
No, for the comment about fellow damn Yankee, do you know the difference between a Yankee and a damn Yankee?
No.
Yankees go
Oh,
home.
I know. I hear from in-laws
Yankees
all
go
the time.
home. Yankees go home. Hey, thanks for the call in. We will talk at you later, Andrew. Don't forget to catch
No
Kilroy's
problem. Y'all take
Conversation. All right. Talk to you later. Bye. Kilroy's Conversation this Saturday. It's going to be a great one. Vicksburg and Gettysburg is on the agenda for the conversation, and a lot of stuff I didn't know. And I've actually walked Gettysburg as a child, and I'm a huge history guy. And there were some things I didn't know, and so kind of exciting.
And Vicksburg is a great Civil War park.
I've been there
you've
twice.
Toured, battlefields,
Yeah.
but you've missed Vicksburg. Vicksburg is a great one.
You know what I don't like is that they took down the Confederate flags, acknowledging the Confederacy. I went there when they had them up, and then I went back when they didn't, and there's a big takeaway on that.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you can't change what happened there.
Yeah.
They're taking the flag down doesn't change anything.
No.
I mean, I get people get all upset about the flag or whatever, but it was the flag of that army. I mean, you put it up there to mark where they were.
Right.
Right, like these were.
This is where they were at,
here
right.
battling, and this is where
Right.
they were. Like
And these soldiers were here. These were the Confederate. Well, I agree.
Yeah.
It's history. It's not an editorial.
Right.
So Ann Guzman says there are more countries represented in the Olympics than the UN. Yeah. Well put, Ann.
Yeah.
And Americans, I don't know if you saw this, but also coming out of the Olympic news is the IOC has a rule that you're not allowed to use the podium as a means to politicize your movement, right?
Rightfully so.
And yeah, absolutely rightfully so. So the United States Olympic Committee chairman has actually contacted the IOC and has said, you are going to enforce the no podium politicizing, right? And so a letter hasn't gone back out yet, so we're going to see what the IOC says in response, but I'm assuming they would follow their guidelines. Unlike the NFL, who has jumped on everybody's bandwagon. Sure. I don't know if you've seen the new commercial for the NFL or not, and we'll talk about that here in a minute, but have you seen the new commercial?
Yeah, I think I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah, and so we'll talk about, Latham and I'll kick that around here in just a minute. But, when you look at the Olympics, it is the cheer of the crowd. It is the building of momentum from your fans, lifting it. It's like Texas A&M. You are the 12th man.
Yeah.
And so to take that fan out of the Olympics, you're almost taking the Olympics out of the Olympics.
Then you have also, like you mentioned, the podium. I mean, when you have the ceremony, when the winner's flag goes up and they play the winning country's national anthem, and all of those people who are from around the world, stand there, in respect of that country's anthem. I mean, it's a great thing. I mean, it's a way that it's one of the few things still out there where there is sort of international harmony.
Right.
Everybody stands and respects that athlete's country and his flag and his anthem for those few moments out of respect for, hey, look, you won. You're the best in the world at this. Yeah. And all the rest of us are going to listen to your anthem now.
Right. And we're gonna stand for it. We're gonna respect it. Absolutely. We definitely have lost a little bit of that in this country.
Oh, for sure.
Don't know where that's gone to, but for sure. Ann Guzman says, so why can the BLM and Antifa and LGBT have flags posted?
Posted where?
Ann, posted where? Are you talking about the Olympics or just in general? Before we go there, but bouncing back, and I want to go back to 1936. The Olympics in Nazi Germany.
Berlin. I did this on Snarky Parenthetical.
Oh, did you?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jesse Owens.
Posted the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why is it that Jesse Owens recognizes that we live in the best country in the world, while albeit not perfect?
Sure. And certainly not in 1936.
Right. But very much better than anywhere else in the world. And he stands up knowing that when he goes back to his home in the United States, he is going to face racism. There are going to be some people that go, oh, you're Jesse Owens. Man, come on in here. We don't care. Versus those who don't recognize him and they're going, boy, you need to get on out my door, kind of a thing. Why is it we can't have these athletes understanding that if you don't want to live here and represent us, give up your citizenship and go run for a country like Venezuela, Chile, Nicaragua, Russia? I mean, even though Russia's a republic, supposedly, or China.
I mean, you look at what Jesse Owens did, just like you said. Were things in this country in 1936 as good as they could be? Of course not. Nobody. I mean, he had plenty to be pissed off about what was going on in America in the 1930s. Okay, but he's standing on the podium, and when you look at that picture, he's standing next to an actual Nazi. The guy is giving the Nazi salute on the podium. Hitler is in the crowd. This is in Berlin. And there's Jesse standing there at attention saluting the flag. Because, as you said, he probably understood, I don't know what was in his head, but he probably understood my lot in life is better in America than anywhere else in the world. Is it perfect? Is it all that it should be in 1936? Of course not. But I'm treated a whole lot better here than I would be if I was in this guy's country.
Exactly.
In the country where I'm competing. And he did the best thing that he could do. He won. He exploded the myth of Aryan supremacy right there in front of Hitler in his front yard. Just smoked those guys right there in Berlin.
And if I'm not mistaken, the podium faced Hitler.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
I think that's right.
Because that's how Hitler wanted it. Because he felt like all of his athletes would prevail on the podium. And he wanted them to.
That's what he wanted. Here was a world showcase to show that the Germans and the Aryan people were going to demonstrate, their superiority to everybody else. And Jesse's like, I don't think so. Watch this.
And again, why is it we can't do that? Why, it was funny. Kathy and I are going to be doing a segment here in a couple of weeks. There's a college news network out there now, and they go out and they interview different college students on different topics. And one of the topics was, would you want to live in the United States anymore? Are you proud to be an American? Mm-hmm. And then who has taught you that you shouldn't be proud to be an American? And the answers were stifling. Just absolutely stifling. One girl's like, yeah, we live in a horrible country, and yeah, there's no equality in our country. And yeah, my professors are the ones who taught me that. And so the lady turned to her and said, are you willing to give up your citizenship and move to a different country, such as Venezuela or China? And well, no, I'm not willing to do that. Why is that? You know?
Exactly.
Yeah, because we do live in the best country in the world, whether you like it or not. Are we perfect? No. But will we continue to work to become perfect? As long as idiots get out of the way, yeah.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I think makes America exceptional, is that there's never been a more aspirational nation than this one. When you're founded on principles and ideas, not just by the strength of a military power. Nobody is saying that that having patriotism or being proud of your country or loving your country means that you don't acknowledge that there are any problems here.
Right.
The difference is there's no country in the history of the world that has done as much as this one has to try to fix those problems. And I said this on my show when we were talking about this, because there was this athlete at the Olympic trials that got mad when the anthem played while she was on the podium. And I said, you earn the right to be on the Olympic team. There's some people saying you should be kicked off. I'm not one of them. I'm not a cancel culture guy. You earn the right to be there, okay? But here's my advice. When you get to the Olympics, go ask an athlete from China what would happen to them if they pulled what you tried to pull on the podium. If they did something to disrespect their anthem or protest, and they have a lot of things to protest about, okay? I'm not saying that you don't.
They do.
But go ask somebody from China. If you can get them away from their government handler long enough, go ask somebody from Russia, from Venezuela, from Iran. Hey, what would happen to you if you were on the podium and you used this opportunity to
come out against the Ayatollah Khomeini? Yeah.
Some political protest.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't walk out and yank those people right off the podium right in the middle of the anthem, especially Iran. If you came out against the Ayatollah Khomeini,
right,
I can see a government official walking right over to you and you're done. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. You'll leave the stadium, go directly to jail, do not pass go, do not collect $200.
And you'll never get out.
Yeah. And also, good luck seeing your family. What's going to happen to your family back in homeland?
Yeah. Well, and I was going to say, you took it right out of my head. It's Tiananmen Square. I mean, I know it's old, but when they tried to protest communism and promote democracy and freedom and liberty, you saw tanks rolled into Tiananmen Square. I mean, so, and if you were to do that today in China, they're going to arrest you and you will become a new chemical testing agent for the Chinese government. Give me a break. Dissidents don't survive in China.
Right.
I mean, we had our own Americans get arrested, handed over to us, basically already dead, flown back to the United States. I mean, so, yeah, I just not a fan of using the Olympics. And again, this conversation started from the fact that the U.S. Olympic Committee has contacted the IOC to make sure they are going to enforce the fact that athletes are not going to be able to use the podium as a means to express their political views.
Which I can appreciate, but also, U.S. Olympic Committee, why don't you do the job? Right. The U.S. Olympic Committee, you can enforce it. Why are you kicking the can to the IOC?
Right.
Why not? You're the United States Olympic Committee. Tell every athlete, look, you earn the right to be here, but this podium is not to be used for your own personal political protest. And if you can't deal with that, we'll find somebody else who can.
Absolutely.
There's alternates on every team.
And there are. And they're almost as good as, a half a second or less as good as you are.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was one hair of a moment that separated. That guy didn't shave quite as close as the guy next to him. So the guy next to him was faster by that much.
Yeah.
So give me a break here. So kicking that can down the road, we'll have to see how things happen. I am going to be curious to see what the podium gets used for other than anthems and medals being handed out. But let's talk a little bit about some other part of freedom and liberty. How about the big victory for First Liberty against the IRS?
The IRS, exactly.
Man, tell us about that. First, set the stage. Tell us what happened, and then what was the outcome?
Yeah, so a Texas-based group called Christians Engaged contacted us because they had applied for nonprofit status, 501c3 status from the IRS. The IRS sat on their application for months, and then they finally sent them a letter denying their nonprofit status. And in the letter, Christians Engaged, by the way, their whole ministry is to encourage Christians to pray for their elected officials, to be engaged in the political process, to apply a biblical worldview to policy issues, and go register to vote and get involved. They never ever tell anyone who to vote for. They don't endorse candidates. They don't endorse party platforms. They just help Christians understand the process and engage in the process. The IRS, in their rejection letter, stated that the reason they were rejecting them is they thought they were too partisan, because Christians Engaged teaches from a biblical worldview. And the letter actually said the Bible and biblical principles are affiliated with the Republican Party and Republican candidates.
I love that.
And that makes you too partisan to be a C3. And so they showed me this letter, and I was like, that's probably news to our president, who says he's a devout Catholic and that his religious beliefs influence his public policy decisions. So we signed him up as a client and went through the IRS, their internal appeal process. We filed the appeal, and our appeal basically demonstrated how the IRS had violated its own internal regulations, but then also 3 different clauses of the First Amendment of the Constitution. So,
Right.
Which is actually kind of impressive in a weird way, But
yeah.
So we filed the appeal, and honestly, we thought, this is probably going to be, 6-8 months before we're able to get this thing resolved. It's the IRS, it's the bureaucracy, it's going to take a long time. But, the press got wind of it. It got some national media attention. Some members of Congress started weighing in on it. And just last week, the IRS called our client and said, we got this wrong. We're going to send you a new letter. And she got the letter last week approving their C3 nonprofit status. So it's a win for religious liberty, because if they had kept that standard and said, anybody that's teaching sort of a biblical worldview on political issues, I mean, that would have threatened the nonprofit status of hundreds, if not thousands, of nonprofit ministries, churches.
I was about to say churches across this country.
Your preacher gets up and preaches on a topic that relates to some policy issue and says, here's why I think the Bible teaches XYZ on this, and I mean, good luck. I mean, that could have set a terrible, terrible precedent going forward. So it's a big win for religious liberty. We're shocked, frankly, that it
went so easily.
That it went
I
so
imagine.
quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, apparently the IRS can move quickly when they want to.
Right.
But we're happy they did the right thing, and we're happy for our client.
All right. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
And thanks for being out there and being warriors for us for religious freedom. Again, in this country, we have that.
Absolutely.
In China, you don't have that as an option.
No.
In Venezuela, you don't have that as an option.
Yeah.
In parts of Russia, you don't have that as an option. And so we want to thank you all for bearing the light for us and carrying the torch for religious freedom and religious liberty. So, and again, where can they go to donate? Because we want to keep you guys on the payroll.
We appreciate it. It's firstliberty.org. Right at the top of the page, there's 2 buttons. One says donate, one says get legal help. So if you need us, click that get legal help button. You'll never get a bill from us. We're supported by donors. That's what that other button is for. The donate button. We appreciate your help. That allows us to keep doing what we do, representing people all over the country, and never sending them a bill for the services. And
that's the key, because a lot of folks wouldn't be able to afford it. I don't remember if you can remember the cake incident, the cake decorating incident.
Oh yeah.
That cake decorator or that shop owner would have never been able to afford.
No, not at all.
The fight all the way to the Supreme Court or what have you.
Yeah, I mean, think about like Coach Kennedy, probably our most famous client, the football coach,
right,
fired for taking a knee and saying a silent prayer. I mean, that case has gone all the way to the Supreme Court, back down, and is now about to go back up to the Supreme Court. That case has been going on close to 6 years.
Wow.
I mean, if we were billing that guy at just an average hourly rate, I mean, his bills would be in 7 figures by now. I mean, there's no way he could afford to take the stand, that must be taken. I mean, this has to get rectified, and he understands that. This case is bigger than him now. But there's no way he could have done it.
Right.
Just paying by the hour, for us to represent him all these years.
So, yep. So hats off. Make sure you go and hit that donate button so we can help keep religious freedom here in this country. That's for sure. All right. So let's talk a little baseball real quick. We can't get into July and not talk baseball. I've held off until July. I wanted to kind of see where everybody was going to settle in after the pandemic. Right. You know, a little bit of a shortened season. Yeah. Some athletes are complaining about. Yeah. And so where would everybody come down? And I'll tell you what, the Yankees are not doing so hot right now in the American League East. They are.
Does my heart good.
Yeah, mine as well. They are 44-42. They are 4-6 over their last 10. At home, they are barely protecting. They are 23-22, while on the road they're 21-20. But they're right there nestled next to the Baltimore Orioles, who are 28-58. Are the Orioles ever going to come out of the doldrums again?
You know, who knows? I mean,
28-58.
I feel for them. I mean, there's an old saying, and I forget who said it first. I think it was an old commissioner of baseball. Is, you know, nothing breaks your heart like baseball.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Like baseball. I mean, I grew up Braves fan back in the 80s when they were in the cellar for like a decade. You know, I mean, and you know, so I resented all the bandwagon Braves fans who jumped on board.
Right,
you know,
when
like
Chipper Jones shows up, Greg Maddux shows up,
they start winning again, and I was like, where were you guys when Rick Mailer was the ace of the staff? You know, when Bob Horner was the slugger.
Not
for the
Tom
Braves.
Glavine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I remember those days. So the Red Sox, here you go. The Red Sox, top of the American League East. They are 54-34. They are 7-3 in their last 10, 27-17 at home, and of course 27-17 away. Tampa Bay Rays are not far behind. They are 51-36. They are 5-5 in their last 10. And so, I mean, Tampa Bay Rays may have a huge playoff face-off with probably, if I had to guess, the Chicago White Sox, who are 51-35 right now in the American League Central. And again, they're 7-3 in their last 10. 31-14 at home, one of the better home records.
And how about Tampa becoming like the new title town?
Yeah.
You got the Bucks with the Super Bowl. You got the Lightning that are, I think, 1 or 2 games away from winning the Stanley Cup.
Right.
And now you got the Rays in the thick of the playoff hunt in baseball.
And again, in the World Series last year.
Yeah. Losing
to the Dodgers right here in our very own Globe Life Park.
Right.
So, all right, the American League Central, you've got the White Sox at top. You've got the Indians at 43-42. The Indians on a big slide. They are 1-9 in their last 10, which gave the Tigers some new life. The Tigers are now 40-48. Yeah, I said that. Mm-hmm. That can't be right. No, that's right. 40-48. They are 6-4 in their last 10, however. And then it just gets worse. The Twins and the Royals both are 36-50 and 51, respectively. Not much happening out of there except for the White Sox. Look for an easy run for them into the playoffs. American League West, the Houston Astros. Did the Astros get a pass because of the pandemic from what happened the year just prior?
Yeah, I don't know. You know, that's a good question. Yeah, the whole banging the trash can scandal down in Houston.
Yeah.
You know, would it have been a bigger deal? You know, without the pandemic, probably so.
Oh, I think so. I think teams would have taken aim at them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Astros, 54-34, they are 6-4 in their last 10. They are 26-17, respectively, both home and away. The Athletics are 50-39. They are 4-6 in their last 10. And the Seattle Mariners finish out the top 3 in the American League West. They are 46-42. Our Texas Rangers, 10 games behind the Angels. We're 34-53. Ouch.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
A chance for early retirement.
Yeah.
Ouch. Yeah. Ooh, I will say this. They are 21-23 at home, so they're almost 500 at home. They are 13-30 on the road.
That's rough.
That's rough. I'll tell you. If you're getting the Rangers coming into your ballpark, it's likely you're going to win. I think the bad news bears.
There's a couple of bright spots as far as like things to watch when you watch the Rangers. I mean, Gallo, I think, has hit like 10 home runs in the last 10 games.
In 10 games, yeah.
They got this other new kid that just, you know, started knocking the ball out of the park. I'm blanking on his name, but you know, there's hope for the future there. You know, There's always next year, as they say in baseball.
And we're going to be heading that direction.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
We have got to shore up the bullpen. Our middle relievers have got to do something. And then, of course, we can't let runs go dry as long as the Rangers let them go dry and hope to win games.
Yeah, exactly.
That's for sure.
You got to have pitching if you're going to win.
Yeah.
I mean, that's been the Rangers' issue forever.
Probably the most competitive division in baseball right now, National League West. The Giants are 54-32. The Dodgers are 54-34, and the Padres are 52-38. And so all three of those right there jam-packed. All of them have 50-plus wins.
Yeah.
The only division in baseball, by the way, or the only only division in baseball to have all three of their top three with 50 or more wins.
Yeah, they're playing some ball out there.
So the Dodgers are 7-3 in their last 10, faring a lot better than the Giants, who are 4-6, and the Padres, who are 5-5. I think my Dodgers are set for another World Series. Yep, you heard it here first on JP, Kathy, and the crew. All right, National League Central, the Brewers are 53-36. The Reds are 45-42. In the East, the Mets are 45-38, and the Phillies are 42-43. That's sad. So here are your top three teams in the East. 45-38, 42-43, and 42-44. The Phillies and the Nationals.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're playing some pretty bad baseball in the East for sure. All right, that's your baseball update, getting you caught up. And because, again, we haven't talked baseball yet, but it is July, so it is time to make sure we start talking baseball. Coach Quigley, let's go to the board. Coach Quigley says, hey, man, how about Altuve and Correa just opted out of the All-Star game? I didn't know that.
I hadn't heard that either.
I hadn't heard that. Let's see. Fred says, let's go Mets. Oh, Fred, good luck, buddy. Good luck. And then let's see. Fred Nort spoke on Jesse Jackson, and others would go broke if not for the nonprofits they have. Probably pretty true. I could see where he would definitely be in trouble there. But yeah, so thanks all for the crew for participating and jumping in and being a part of JP, Kathy, and the crew. Big weekend ahead. A lot going on because it is Michelle's birthday. That's right. Our very own Michelle has a birthday this weekend. We want to say happy birthday to you. Hear from JP and Kathy. Michelle, my friend, you are the crew. You help get them together and keep them organized. Send out the messages when they don't go out for us, and organize events like our March Madness, or when we do fantasy football. So, Michelle, happy birthday to you. Oh, and Coach Quigley says, don't forget the NBA Finals, the Phoenix Suns are up 2-0.
That's true.
Yeah, and that's about the response I would give it. Yeah, that's true. You know what's funny? I saw a meme last night, and it said, the NBA Finals, what we've all been looking forward to, and it had the Lakers and the Nets, and then it said, oh, our reality.
Right.
The Bucks and the Suns.
Right.
It's like, who saw that coming?
Yeah, who would have thunk it? Yeah.
Yeah, who would have thunk it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, but big happy birthday to Michelle as she celebrates in the month of July. All right. With that being said, it is time. Oh, and to Coach Quigley and Miss Quiggs celebrating 38 years in marriage.
Oh, congratulations.
Congratulations, Coach. All right. Let's see, July 13th. When is July the 13th? I thought this weekend was July 13th. I guess it's not. I guess it's middle of the week.
Right.
That's middle of the week. Yeah, I mean, I celebrate on the weekends. So, Michelle, yeah, I know it was the 13th, but I thought this weekend was the 13th. Who cares? Happy birthday.
Yeah. Just keep partying.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I say. Keep partying. Lathan, thank you so much for joining us.
Anytime.
Maybe we'll get to share the love next time. Hopefully we'll have our podcasting folks come on and we can talk about their network and what's going on as well. If nothing else, have a blessed weekend. Enjoy the heat because it's here in July. Lathan, thanks, man. That was fun stuff.